Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elimination Chamber results show. I can't remember what we call these, but we're not predicting it, so it must be the results. I'm your host, Connor Franks, joined by my brother from another mother, Danny Diabito Genetti Franks.
How goes it? Switching music lover?
It's great. It's been a while. Normally we do these the day after, but we just haven't got around to it. So we've
Rory didn't want to.
He went super silent.
No, fuck till hungry.
I couldn't handle the heat. The funny thing is to put peek behind the curtain for the people at home. After we finish recording this, I then send this to him. Hey guy, house hungry. But no, he's over there hungry. So whether or not, I mean, he'll have Wi-Fi. So if he wants to join us on the podcast, obviously he knows he's more than welcome to. But yeah,
he'll be too busy sucking Howard Wolowitz's dick. So
yeah, no. But to be fair, if he wants to join us, he knows he's more than welcome to. He's got Wi-Fi. But at the same time, if he wants to enjoy his holiday, we can pick up the slack. It's not like we've not got stuff to do. We've got the random thing that we're gonna start doing. We've watched one of them, so we can blast one of those episodes out. So there's stuff to do, but today we're going to talk about the Chamber. Pre-show, we got one match, which was, I don't think we did a prediction for, because I'm pretty sure it was quite late.
Because we didn't know
it was late announced, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Which was Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. Rey picked up the win in 8 minutes 20. Following on from this, on Raw last night, Logan Paul arrived on Raw, and it's being confirmed that at WrestleMania it's The Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios.
Just when we thought we'd seen enough of him last year.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Vince, sources have said Vince wants as many celebrities at Mania as possible. So it's likely that Bad Bunny will probably be there. It's likely that we're going to get like Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville or something. Appearances, because like they used to do it all the time. Like I remember the one that sticks out in my mind is like the most random, okay, this celebrity's here, was WrestleMania 24 when Kim Kardashian was just interviewing people like out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Like it was just like, oh, okay, so that's a celebrity involved for some reason. Then they had Floyd Mayweather in the match against Big Show and stuff like that. They want this to be massive, so they're going to get everyone involved. They can get more people involved with it being 2 nights, so they don't have the limit restrictions of time. It's giving too many celebrities too much time in one show because it's 2 nights, so it's understandable. The Miz seems to be the guy who gets given the celebrity jobs now, which is fine. He's a safe worker. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to be entertaining. He knows how to, Logan Paul. The thing is, Bad Bunny surprised us in his match and at the Rumble with what he can do. So fair enough. Logan Paul could do the same. Like, I can't say he can't. The dude, to be fair, the dude's.
He stole that. Sold that stunner well last year, didn't he? So, and
to be fair, like he can go. The dude's a legit boxer. Yeah. Last year, 2021, he had a fight against Floyd Mayweather. So it's possible. I don't want to count out. I think Miz is definitely, unfortunately, right now is, well, for a few years thinking about it. He's the entertainment like guy. Yeah. So he's got this one with Logan Paul. He had him and Morrison versus Priest and Bad Bunny. He did the mixed tag against Cena and Nikki, which obviously
Edge and Beth, yeah.
He's done the Edge and Beth stuff, so it's fine. I love The Miz, so it's nice to see. We didn't really do a prediction on this. To be honest, the predictions I lost. I got 1 point in this one apparently. I think you got 3 and Rory got 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Who cares?
You got 2, wouldn't you?
I don't know. No idea.
Becky Lynch and Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So he lied to us, bastard. Too. Still lost, but still. Yeah. So I am going to talk to you two when he's back and we've got time about a certain punishment for the person who gets the least at Mania that may go for a full year. Like the punishment might last a full year. If I can get you two to agree to it, it goes the year. But we'll get to that. Next match was, I think this surprised all of us that this kicked off. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg for the WWE Universal Championship. 6 minutes, 5 minutes 59 to be exact. which, to be honest, that's perfect amount of time for any Goldberg match in my eyes. Roman Reigns, although Goldberg, like he said he was going to do, he choked him out.
He did. Yeah, it was a bit surprising that it was so short. I'll give it that.
I think I'll use the word relief. I think I'll say
it's
a relief.
I think we expected a little bit more sort of say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't expect it to be a long match, but we expected it to be more
like Goldberg Brock at Mania.
Yeah.
Was it Mania?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember.
Mania,
one of it. Whenever they went like what they did something like 10 minutes, and it was just finisher fest, which is what it should be for someone like Goldberg.
And then it was the other one where it was like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, that was cool because that was no one expects a long match, but no one expected Goldberg to beat Brock in 30 seconds. So that was decent. But this was surprising. Goldberg has alluded since then that this might have, because this was his final match on his current WWE contract. So which means technically right now Goldberg is a free agent. But
he may end up elsewhere.
No, he has alluded that it will be that might have been his last match ever.
Bit of a shit way to go out.
Not really. It's a very old school way to go out. Think of Kurt Angle.
I mean, the whole going out on your back, yeah, but I mean, like a bit of
by putting over Roman Reigns in a very strong way. Very strong way.
I'm just thinking of the fact that he went out on such a quick match, and you know what I mean.
But all of his matches are quick now, so it's.
Yeah.
And if this was his last one and he's doing the old school thing of going out on his back, he's managed to put over Roman Reigns in a very convincing way. Not that Roman needed to be put over, but with a match in Saudi Arabia against Goldberg, there is always the doubt of, is Goldberg actually going to win this one? But no, it's...
I think he's lost his last 4 in a row, or 3 in a row.
Yeah, something like that. So he's... that's been done. It was what it was. But then we moved over to the Women's Elimination Chamber. The winner, I should say.
Yeah, shocked us all.
Faces the WWE Raw Women's Champion at WrestleMania 38. This was Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Nikki ASH, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, who was the surprise person, and Bianca Belair. Nikki ASH, first one out. Love to see it.
Yep.
I understand wrestling's for everybody. And I completely get that, but I don't know. I struggle with I struggle with comedy characters getting a proper push. Yeah. So like Santino Marella, like prime comedy act. He won like Intercontinental United States tag. I can get behind that. That's fine. But imagine Santino Marella actually winning a WWE title. Like it would. Do you know what I mean? Like you get to that and you're like, that's how I feel about Nikki ASH. If she was Nikki Cross in this, I'd have loved it.
For it.
Yeah, but I can't do this, but I'm not a fan. The match itself was good. Nikki ASH was eliminated first by Rhea Ripley, and then Doudrop was eliminated by Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan was eliminated by Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley eliminated by Bianca, and then Alexa Bliss eliminated by Bianca Belair, which means Bianca Belair making history by back-to-back going for the women's title.
Which shocked us all, didn't we? We did not expect it to be her.
No, I didn't. I thought...
we both backed Liv, didn't we?
I backed Liv. I think you backed Alexa.
Did I thought I backed her as the surprise act, but
yeah. But
I think I backed for the winner.
Yeah. If I'll be honest, it's kind of weird to me that they brought Alexa back after so long for this and she didn't win.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Bianca Belair. The only person in that chamber who I personally didn't want to see at Mania was Nikki. But again, that's the character thing. So I'm not mad at this. There wasn't. As soon as Nikki got eliminated, I was happy no matter what happened. Bianca, good to see her going to Mania again. This is was it last year where she was against Sasha?
Sasha.
Yeah. And that was great. If she can, that was for the SmackDown, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this year she'll be in front of a full crowd. It won't just be a limited.
Exactly. And if she manages to get the win at Mania, that's back-to-back Manias where she's won the SmackDown and the Raw. So I'm all for this. I've got to acknowledge it. I understand why, because they're in Saudi Arabia. There's the way they do things is different, obviously stuff being on show, etc. Some of you guys did amazing by covering up and being creative with your stuff. Others, no, others was just like, what are you wearing?
Yeah,
like Dewdrop. Dude, Rhea Ripley, I get, because that's her whole thing, anyways, leather. So she just added sleeves.
That's where the boner alert came from.
Dewdrop, I felt like the tartan stuff, like her arms and her legs were like Scottish.
Yeah, she looked like a
chicken
oven.
She looked like fucking like shortbread. But yeah. I understand she's Scottish, but I felt like that was like on the nose, because like Drew McIntyre comes out in a kilt, but like just because you're from there, you don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. But to be fair, everyone was creative with their outfits, and that was a great match. We then got Naomi and Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Sonya Deville, just shy of 10 minutes. Ronda Rousey had to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back, even though it was at her side for the entire match.
Yeah, and her front.
Yeah. Again, this was.
Yeah, it was boring. Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't. The thing is, Ronda versus Charlotte at Mania will be a good match. That will be a good match. If we got Naomi and Sonya at Mania, that will be a good match. But there's something about all of them together that didn't feel right.
No, and especially when you've got two former MMA fighters in there, in Sonya and Ronda, you'd think it'd be a little bit better.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like, you got to think, when Sonya was actively on the roster properly, before she went away for a little bit, her whole act was, put your hair up and square up. She was the shoot fighter sort of thing. Whereas now although she can still do that, although she's the heel general manager, so she's got all that cowardly, and like that's the character transfer. For example, look how Sami Zayn is, like his character now, and how he acts, and then go watch NXT Takeover, and
first time on roster Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and it's completely different, but they have to wrestle like that, what their character is. So like you can't have like a cowardly heel, but then as soon as the bell rings, he's fucking going and putting on match of the year candidates and not doing anything cowardly. So I understand that. Naomi and Ronda won. Ronda coming out in her judo gear, which was quite cool. Nice little throwback. It was very surprising. I did laugh a little bit. Like, I didn't know what I expected Ronda to come out in, but it wasn't that, and that just made me chuckle.
No. The morph suit.
Yeah, some of you guys were just wearing morph suits. We then got Drew McIntyre ridiculously beating my man Madcap Moss. False count anyway match, 9 minutes. Although that bump that Madcap took from that inverted Alabama slam.
Watch.
Yeah, the thing is that was all on him, and that was him showing like how fresh he is to the business. Because for that, you just felt you go flat, you pancake to the mat, and what he did was, I don't know if he thought he could make it look cooler. I don't know whether his body immediately tucked his chin, because that's what we do most bumps, or if it was he wanted to like go over and see if he could then, instead of just going on his face, he could then go right over to his back, or what it was, whether it was just he misjudged it, but it was rough. At
least he got back up.
And I want to see him off TV for just like 2 weeks. Just let that fucking rest and make sure it's fine, because that was a nasty bump.
I get the feeling we might get Moss at Mania in a match against McIntyre, to be fair.
I think it's going to be Drew and someone versus Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. Hopefully not in a 2-on-1, because obviously Drew's going to win that, and then that makes those two look weak. When in reality, you can say what you want about Happy Corbin's character, but since he became Happy Corbin, he is undefeated.
Yeah.
Which you don't have to. I'm not saying you make it into the Undertaker's streak, but at least have it that when he loses, it's in a proper match and not some 2-on-1 just to please a couple of fans. Good match. I feel like Corbin should have been more involved. I know he kept jumping in every now and then, but it's a no disqualification falls count anywhere match.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the two of you beat the fuck out of McIntyre the entire time?
Yeah, every time it happened, he just fucking got the better of him, didn't he?
Because that's what you should do, is have those two batter McIntyre now, And, 2-on-1 the entire time.
Yeah.
Madcap goes
Build
over.
that
Raw,
grudge from him.
yeah, and then Raw, he faces Corbin at some point. Screwy finish, Corbin rolls him up. Just have it so he can't beat them. And then, right, I'll find a tag partner. Or you and Corbin, me and Corbin, Steel Cage Mania, and have it so that when McIntyre finally gets that win over Corbin, it's built. Have it so it's a steel cage or it's some form of way that Madcap, even if Madcap Moss gets involved, Corbin's fired, or like just something so that Madcap can't be in it. Have them go at it, and then he gets that proper win. Obviously, it's not how they're doing it. Fantasy booking, all that jazz.
No, that's it, isn't it? It's that expectation reality thing where you're expecting this and you just get fucking flat.
Yeah, and it's every idea that fans want. WWE seems to take that on board, go for it, and then something else comes along and they change it. For example, before Ronda was confirmed to be back and win the Rumble, etc., what was meant to be penciled in for WrestleMania was the 4 horsewomen fatal 4-way match. Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha versus Bayley. The match everybody has wanted forever. But because of Ronda coming back, all that got jumped around. And the thing is, the way things are in the wrestling business at the minute, where it feels like anybody at any time can either be released or let their contract run out and or jump ship. I don't know, unless they do it for like SummerSlam, I don't know how long left we've got to get that fatal 4-way. And it be given the match time and stuff that it deserves. Because you don't want to, they clearly they wanted it for Mania originally, so they don't want to give it away on WrestleMania Backlash or Extreme Rules or Hell in a Cell. Yeah, like clearly it needs to be like
one of the 3 main.
Yeah, SummerSlam, Rumble, Mania. Yeah, it's a Survivor Series, but now they proper do the head-to-head stuff now. But yeah, Drew won, decent match. Threatened with the sword at the end. No DQ. Technically, he could have stabbed him and won straight away. Just saying. But that was the thing. Then we got, which was, I think, both of our opinions match of the night with Becky Lynch versus Lita for the Raw Women's title. 12 minutes 14. Becky Lynch defeating Lita in a very good match, very back and forth. Lita showing that she's
still got it.
She's still got it, and just proving how far ahead she was in women's wrestling when she was active in early 2000s to 2006-7 when she retired, roughly. Yeah, and she was mental. We saw Becky Lynch hit the moonsault, the Lita salt. We saw Twist of Foot. We saw the disarmer. It was great, but Becky Lynch got it done. Lita then got the standing ovation. She got Becky leaving the ring after winning pretty early. Standing ovation. Lita's music played, which says to me that might have been that might be the final that we see of Lita. I'd hope not, because she can still go and she is an attraction. So it'd be cool.
Hopefully
to see
we'll see it. It might be end of a fight, and we might hopefully, like MVP's doing now, she might come back and be a bit of a manager or something.
That's managing Edge.
Starts managing, like, I don't know, like starts managing, I don't know, say like, for example, Indy Hartwell gets promoted, and later comes and manages her, something like that. Something just totally
I'd like to see her just not stick around and be weekly, but have it so that she comes in and faces some current divas, and she goes over some and others go over her, just so then she's not, because it would seem pointless to bring any superstar, like retired superstar, back for the occasional match and have them lose every single match. Like, it would be pointless, because then as soon as they brought back to face someone, you'd be like, okay, they're not winning, why should I be invested? But have it so that Lita comes back and she can be, I don't know, Naomi, she can be Rhea, and then she can be another person. She could be, who's on the roster, who was in the chamber. Then she could be Alexa Bliss, for example, and then you have someone like Liv Morgan beat her. So then it then raises the profile of Liv, because she's beaten Lita, who's beaten these other people. And you could do it that way. But by the way they did that, I think it might be the goodbye for Lita, which if it was, then thank you, Lita. And what a hell of a match to go out on.
I hope it's not. I hope that, because something like Elimination Chamber, I think she's definitely deserving of going out on a Mania or a SummerSlam or a Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, they do the obviously they do the Andre the Giant and then the Miss WrestleMania, whatever it's called, Battle Royal. Even if she just won that, at least she'd get a Mania moment.
Hopefully, Andre the Giant Battle Royal won't be on SmackDown this year.
Yeah, that was absolutely. I don't understand why that was on SmackDown and the SmackDown Tag Title match was on SmackDown when they've now got a 2-night Mania.
Yeah, for the sake of putting on the Bad Bunny and
even if you like it's Mania, right? It's big. Even if it's 2 nights, people are gonna sit and watch the fucking kickoff.
That's it. Every title.
Do you remember a couple of years ago when the kickoff match had the Cruiserweight title? It was Neville versus Austin Aries.
Yeah.
That kickoff show was like 2 hours long. But it had stuff on it. I'm pretty sure that had the battle.
Was that the year when it was a 5-hour WrestleMania?
I want to say 31. Possibly.
There was one that was 5 hours, wasn't there, for a year instead of 4?
I'll have to check. WrestleMania 33.
Right.
Yeah, so like, there's no reason you've got 2 nights of Mania, which means you've got 2 kickoff shows. Even if have them as 2 2-hour kickoff shows. Yeah, that's right. Have them as 2 2-hour kickoff shows, and then you can have 1 hour of talking about the main WrestleMania, and then you've got like 2 20-minute slots for 2 matches, and then a 20-minute slot to talk about those also matches as they come up. There's a way to do it, and there's so many matches to do that. They just, things like that don't deserve to go on to SmackDown when there's a Mania 2 days away. Well, 1 day away because it's Saturday, Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so literally the day before Mania, they did that instead of just extending the kickoff. But whatever, we can rant about the questionable things they do. Another questionable thing was tag team match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Usos versus the Viking Raiders, ended in no contest as the Usos attacked the Viking Raiders in the match. No match for them, so I hope they get paid a lot to fly over there and get attacked during the entrance. They didn't even get a match.
But they all got millions of fucking dollars for it, so it's all good.
Apparently, it's penciled in for the Usos versus New Day at Mania. But with this happening against the Viking Raiders, for no real reason, I'm assuming it means we're going to have a multi-tag match. Whether it's like a
4 tag thing.
Yeah, like 3 or 4. I was about to say, have it be a ladder, because ladder matches at Mania are nice.
Epic.
Back in the day, before it was its own pay-per-view, and Money in the Bank was at WrestleMania, and it was fucking great. Fair enough, if you want to capitalize on the Money in the Bank thing and make it a pay-per-view, go for it. But at least have a multi-man ladder, because they did that when they scrapped it. They had the Intercontinental ladder match, and like that, I think for a few years, that was like in the gap of the multi-man. So even if you do it with the tag, just have it. There's not much more we can say about this. This was literally a match for an angle. It wasn't even a match. It was just something for an angle.
It was a no contest, yeah.
It was. But main event was the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship, just shy of 15 minutes, where Bobby Lashley defended against AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar. Unfortunately, in this, Brock suffered a legit... Bobby suffered a concussion and was unable to compete and taken out.
Due to Seth Rollins deciding to throw Austin Theory at him.
Yeah, so that was fun. We then got Riddle in and AJ Styles, and then Brock Lesnar broke his way out of the cell. It was a good match, to be fair.
Yeah. The last 5 minutes kind of flattened it, though.
It did, but I think that's just because, like, we've known for a while that Vince wants the champion v champion Brock Roman, and it's just been one of them of hoping it doesn't happen. Purely because I don't think it needs both titles on the line.
No, and it's the same. What is it? The same main event 4 out of 7 years,
something like that. Yeah, so it's
so that's not going to please a lot of people.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe because that both of the men's main titles are in one match, it means that other titles will get a full. We'll get to the main card because there's been manias where like the US hasn't been defended, or the Intercontinental's not been defended, or like this hasn't been defended. This leaves a slot for those to happen. It's Austin Theory and Seth Rollins were the first to win. Austin Theory's entrance was phenomenal, taking selfies with people. It was great.
He was the best one of the chamber. He was the most entertaining of the chamber.
He was taking a scary F5 bump off the top of the pod by Lesnar. Although it was nice because the elimination list was Bobby got taken out on Ellis compete, then Seth Rollins got taken out by Lesnar, Riddle got taken out by Lesnar, Styles got taken out by Lesnar. And then it came down to Lesnar and Austin Theory. Austin Theory ran around for a bit, played the cowardly heel.
It reminded me of that scene in Spider-Man. Savage in Spider-Man.
I've got you for 3 minutes. What are you doing there? Staying away from you. Yeah, he ran around. He then went in the chamber and got booted, and then got a suplex. As Brock's picking him up, nasty little low blow, which we know is a weakness of Brock's.
Which we all jumped up.
Oh, yeah. And then we got a great springboard rolling drop kick and a DDT. Austin got some offense, and for a minute, I didn't think he was going to win from those because we've all seen it takes 1,000 spears for Brock to lose. So DDT wasn't going to do it, but just that little hope, thanks to the low blow, was beautiful. Made Austin Theory shine in this. He's very good. I'm a big fan. But then Brock hit the F5 off the pod, and that's all she wrote. Brock Lesnar is going to Mania against Roman Reigns. But it was confirmed on Raw last night that at the Madison Square Garden event on March 5th, I believe it is, Brock will be defending the title against someone of Paul Heyman's choice if Bobby is not cleared to wrestle for the WWE title. I don't think... Because the Madison Square Garden event, it's stacked. Brock's confirmed to be there. Ronda's confirmed to be there. Roman's confirmed to be there.
Yeah.
Because Madison Square Garden is such a huge event for WWE. They've got the history there. But no matter who Paul Heyman chooses...
Isn't going to win it, yeah.
Isn't going to win it. One, because we all know how much...
Before Mania, isn't
one,
it?
Because we know how much Vince wants this champion be champion thing. And two, because it's not televised.
Is it not even on the channel?
It's not televised. It's from what has been announced so far, it's just the Madison Square Garden live event house show.
I was hoping it'd be on network. Never mind.
I mean, I don't see why they could have put it on the network, but maybe they'd have to pay Madison Square Garden more money because people viewing, but I don't know. So yeah, Brock won that. He's going to Mania. Right now, at the time of talking, if I scroll up here and go to WrestleMania 38, the next one.
Yes.
That's mental. 38. The matches announced that are penciled in right now is Lesnar versus Reigns, winner takes all match for the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. If they do that, there's a chance they could merge it and we just get the WWE title. Charlotte versus Ronda for the SmackDown Women's title. Becky versus Bianca for the Raw Women's. Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul and The Miz. And thanks to another event on Raw, Edge came out and cut a open challenge promo for WrestleMania. Now,
I haven't seen Raw yet. Please tell me someone decent answered it.
Nobody has answered it. So Edge. So there's a chance. There's a chance we get AJ Styles has been since Edge came back. AJ has been pushing and pushing for that Edge match. There's a good chance we get Edge versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. If that happens, chef's kiss. Yeah. Beautiful.
I've got another thought.
If they want to pull the trigger at Mania. Do you remember when John Cena challenged The Undertaker and Undertaker just didn't answer forever, and then John Cena was sat in the crowd at Mania? If they have it where Edge makes his entrance at Mania without an opponent and then just waits for the person to come down, that would be a phenomenal time to bring in Cody Rhodes.
That's who my next one was going to be.
That would be a great time to bring Cody Rhodes in as a actual. Don't let anyone leak it. Don't let anyone know. have it so that have it in the back. What I'd do in WWE, have it booked in, sign Cody versus Edge, have nobody know except Edge and like Vince, and have it go around at the back that he's going to be facing. I don't know, like who could be
Drew Gulak.
No, have it be like, oh yeah, it's going to be. The leaks are saying that rumors are saying it's going to be Edge
Bobby Roode
versus Bobby Roode, Edge versus Cesaro, and have that like Vince McMahon excited for Edge versus Cesaro and have those leaks come out. And then when that happens, that pop is mental. For example, the Hardy Boys when they returned at the Mania.
Yeah.
That pop is the kind of
insane.
Pop. Yeah. Or another beautiful one because it's been announced, I think, in 2 weeks' time. I can't remember when the date is, but Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are challenging for the Raw Tag Team titles. So there's a chance that they lose that, and that is how we get Kevin versus Seth at Mania, and these Austin rumors are put aside.
Well, yeah, but he's still slating Texas, isn't he?
Yeah.
So,
but the thing is, that could have been what he's been told to say because they were so confident, and then it's gone to shit. So now they're going another way.
I think Austin would be at risk of fighting anyway, wouldn't he?
No, he's openly said that he's got more in him, and he's a couple of months ago. Oh no, about a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago, he had a full-sized wrestling ring delivered to his ranch.
Okay.
So whether or not that's because he misses just
practicing,
just going or what, then that's a thing. But there's a chance we get Kevin versus Seth at Mania, which I'd be okay with. They're both great. I like them. But if that was the case, there's no reason why at WrestleMania Edge comes out and then the glass breaks.
Yeah.
Because Edge has to work safe because of his neck.
Yeah.
Austin will have to work safe because he's 57.
And doesn't he have a neck problem as well or something?
Yep. Well, he changed his entire wrestling style because Owen Hart broke his neck.
Yeah.
So he went from being like technical wrestler to the brawler. His style of wrestling is very safe. He's punches, he's stomps, he's DDTs, he's the odd suplex, atomic drop, Luther's press. It's not like he goes to the top rope. Like Austin can wrestle an Austin match right now and be okay because he had to adopt that style because of the injury.
Yeah.
He still took moves from other people. He could still take a spear. He could still take stuff from Edge. They could still have a good match. And to be honest, Edge now prime, like, well, not prime, you know what I mean? But like,
he may be in 50, but he's fucking good.
Yeah, Edge versus Austin would be phenomenal. With it being WWE, I think Rory even said this. I don't know if he said it in group chat, I just said it to me, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get like Owens and Rollins as the tag champs versus Alpha Academy at Mania with Austin as the referee.
Yeah, he said that in group chat. I've read that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be surprising. But as one of the people who just trying to yeah, exactly.
It's not a Mania grabbing, is it? It's not headline grabbing.
No, it's not.
Okay, bro, and them fair enough.
Yeah. What else happened on Raw? Since we're here, we might as well talk about it. What did happen on Raw? What else happened? Oh yeah, Finn Balor returned since losing to who did he lose to? Austin Theory in January returned on Raw and formed a new team with Tommaso Ciampa.
That just sounds amazing.
If they went all in on this, that would be great. Even to the point, just to have them be like turn into. I know you don't really know this, but the Bullet Club, which were like, imagine NWO but kind of modern wrestling style. Have them like start ruling. Have them get in a feud with two main guys, whoever, and then that's how you bring Cody in. Cody is the secret leader of this group. That would be great too. Have Cody come in as a heel because people in AEW were booing him and he just wouldn't accept it. That would be another way to do it. At the same time, if all this Cody news was bollocks, I wouldn't be surprised because we've had stuff like this happen where it's been hyped to someone possibly coming in and then it just doesn't happen. But as wrestling fans, it's what we do best to speculate. But that was it for Chamber. I think out of 5 stars, Danny, what would you give this one?
I'd say it was definitely better than Rumble, and I'd probably give it a 4. The only reason that I wouldn't give it a 5 would be how disappointing the Roman and Goldberg match became, and the end of the Chamber, and the Usos no contest.
Yeah, I think pay-per-view has to do a lot to be a 5. Never mind a couple of weird matches. I think I'd give this a 4 as well, just because it was enjoyable. And it was better than the Rumble, which is all we really had to compare it to, which is baffling.
We don't have no Fastlane this year, either, do we?
No, we don't, which is strange. We've just got the weird Madison Square Garden fucking live event. Hopefully it's still alive, but I don't think it is, which is just insane. And on the same night for wrestling was Impact Wrestling's No Surrender. And I will quickly go through those results.
Because we don't
which was Trey Miguel defeated John Skyler in the kickoff. Havoc defeated Tennille Dashwood in the kickoff. Jake Something defeated Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Mike Bailey to become number 1 contender for the X Division title. Jonah defeated Black Taurus. Jay White defeated Eric Young. Deanna Purrazzo defeated Miranda Elise. Matt Cardona defeated Jordan Grace. The Good Brothers defeated the Guerrillas of Destiny. Mickey James defeated Tasha Steelz. Moose defeated W. Morrissey. And Honor No More defeated Team Impact, meaning Honor No More can remain in Impact Wrestling. And thanks to a heel turn by Impact's own Eddie Edwards. You can check out a conversation I had with W. Morrissey prior to No Surrender. We can put it in the description. I've been Connor Franks. That's been Danny Franks, whichever side he's at for him. He's at that side for me. And we will catch you next time. Bye.
Laters, babies.